time. Plus, streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com on the WHOW mobile app and Amazon Alexa. Plus, tune in for a Best of Clinton Sports broadcast every Saturday morning at 10. All brought to you by Baum Chevy Buick, Clinton Athletic Boosters, Clinton Community YMCA, and Midstate Eye.
We are 8 minutes ahead of the or after the hour, I should say, on this Monday. 39 degrees, partly sunny, feels like 32 outside.
From regional radio, DeWittDailyNews.com, and the WHOW app. This is local information making a difference.
Thanks for being with us here this morning. With warmer weather around the corner, local law enforcement officials are expecting increases in crime. Clinton Police Chief Ben Lowers notes throughout his career, the busiest time of the year for his department is the first few weeks of the warm weather's return to central Illinois. He reminds vehicle owners to remember to lock their doors and remove all valuables.
So we'll certainly start seeing an increase in foot traffic with that at all hours, during the day, but also through the evenings and then late night hours. So with that, we often see an increase in vehicle burglaries, where we just say, please lock your vehicles. The actual number of forced entry burglaries is very, very low. I mean, a minute percentage of the thefts from vehicles that we have. Parking in well-lit areas, locking those doors, removing the valuables before you lock them. So many of us, and I have been guilty too, have a console with change in it or something of that nature, or leave a purse with a debit card in it, Fortunately, we're no longer in the era where people break into cars and steal stereos and CDs. That was a big thing 20 years ago, but nobody listens to those anymore. It's all live streaming music. In terms of the vehicle burglaries and the thefts from vehicles, remove those cell phones, remove those chargers, park in a well-lit area. First and foremost, just remove those valuables and lock those vehicles. It's just too much of a crime of opportunity.
Chief Lowers asked the community to be respectful of your neighbors when hosting parties and backyard barbecues. Keep the noise to a considerate level. He's asking for any kind of suspicious activity to be reported.
In addition to that, as people get outside and they start to enjoy the warm weather with their neighborhood cookouts and get-togethers and stuff, we just ask you to be a good neighbor. Keep that music, keep that noise down to a tolerable level. It's imagine if it was your neighbors on a day that maybe you were trying to relax and enjoy some peace and quiet outside as well, getting some yard work done. So we just ask you to be a good neighbor and be conscientious of those things. Report the crimes that you see, or if you see suspicious circumstances, please report those. As I've mentioned numerous times, we'd rather get 100 calls that we didn't need than not get the one that we did need. So what might seem so minor and minute to you could turn into something that we've been looking for. So when you see that suspicious person maybe looking into vehicles late at night or something, please call. Give us a location. If you are a victim of a trespass to your vehicle or a theft from your vehicle, no matter how minor, please report that to us. It helps us document and track crime trends and where things are happening so that we can then redirect patrols or maybe focus on different areas.
The chief reminds of city-wide ordinances like pets being leashed at all times and pet owners picking up after their pets went on walks. He also reminds the burning of yard waste is banned within city limits.
We ask you to keep your animals on a leash, with more people out walking around and stuff. We ask you to keep those dogs on a leash and certainly pick up after them. If you're taking them for a walk, we do have ordinances on both of those topics, being leashed animals and animal excrement, that you do have an obligation as a pet owner to pick up after your pet if you're out for a walk. So with that, also, it's a popular time of year to do that spring cleanup. I'll remind you that there is no burning in the city of Clinton. We encounter very few of those encounters anymore, but we still, every once in a while, we have a new resident to town. We certainly appreciate the cleaning up of your property and whatnot, but there is no burning in the city of Clinton.
The citywide yard waste facility is also now open for drop-offs. The Macon County CASA is holding a unique fundraiser later this month, and it will be in DeWitt County for the first time. Julia Livingston with Macon County CASA says they have 3 playhouses on display between their 2 counties, and those will be able to be won through a raffle.
It is our 20th annual CASA Playhouse raffle. It is amazing that a nonprofit can announce that they've done a fundraiser successfully for 20 years. We're excited at that. You know, this Playhouse raffle is not the same as it was 20 years ago. We've adapted and we've adjusted as needed. And this year we get to actually add a 3rd playhouse. We normally do just 2, but with our expansion, we wanted to add a 3rd. And so this 3rd playhouse will actually live in DeWitt County in downtown Clinton at the Mr. Lincoln Square during the time frame of our ticket sales. The other 2 will be in downtown Decatur.
The playhouses were professionally designed by a local architect, and the designs were then voted on by the public through social media. The top 3 designs were then built and painted.
We professionally designed them. We partner with BLDD Architects in Decatur. They designed this year 6 brand new playhouse options. The community got 2 weeks virtually to vote for their favorites. The top 3 vote getters were the Children's Museum, the Adventure Afloat, which is a pirate ship, and then Mr. Tumnus House, which is based off of the Chronicles of Narnia. And so those 3 houses will be built professionally by professional builders, and then they'll be painted as well professionally.
Livingston notes previous playhouse designs have been immensely popular, not only with children, but adults as well. The raffle is from March 21st through June the 9th. Tickets are $5 for a single ticket or $100 for 40 and are available through the Macon County CASA website, which is maconcountycasa.org. An area school district took a unique approach to the removal of their mask mandate. Bement School Superintendent Dr. Sheila Greenwood indicates after the school board agreed to make masks optional, the district did not make the change instantly. Rather, they used the next day to educate staff, students, and families about the decision.
The board decided at our last board meeting about a month ago that we were going to go masks optional, mask recommended. And so we took a day and talked with the staff, because the board meeting was that night, talked with the staff and talked with the students the next day, and then we started the masks optional. And it was an interesting experience, because I think just having the communication ahead of time and not just dropping the ball and saying, hey, tomorrow morning, mask optional. So it was really good because the kids were so respectful with each other, and we still had some kids that wore masks the first few days. We're seeing a lot fewer kids with masks right now, but we still have a few that are wearing masks and some of the staff that have chosen to wear masks. But yeah, we've been able to get rid of those, and so it's been kind of nice to be able to see some of the kids' smiles, and of course some of the first and second graders without their teeth, those kind of things.
Dr. Greenwood says she has seen an increase in student morale since going mask optional. She thinks students are more talkative and overall happier. She also hopes districts in the future take the initiative to put in place plans for how they will maintain local control in circumstances like these going forward. Get the latest in local news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. The WHOW Morning Show streams live to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton.
MR Systems Wireless has an immediate opening. They're looking for a full-time internet installer to perform the initial setup of wireless internet and voice-over IP services, as well as troubleshoot and repair wireless and phone services for customers. You'll be responsible for the basic installation and maintenance of wireless equipment. No experience necessary. Includes health benefits, mileage reimbursed. Starting pay is $15 an hour. Find out more and apply by going to mrsystemswireless.com, then clicking About, then Employment. Equal opportunity employer.
Have you been cleaning out closets recently? Bring any donations to Love It Once More thrift store in Clinton, and we'll give you a card worth 10% off your next purchase. This is Connie reminding you that by helping our nonprofit store, you can save 10%. See us on Facebook or DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is Ryan Utterback with Utterback Real Estate, and man, things are hot.
What? It's so cold, Uncle Sam has his hands in his own pocket.
I'm talking about the real estate market.
Do you see these gloves on my hand and this hat on my head?
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
Click the Utterback Real Estate icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. Your John Deere is here. Now is the time to grab your Sloan deal and save big during deer season. Like our John Deere Z500 Series Z-Track mower with a high-capacity mower deck and Comfort Glide seat. Get a new Z500 with 4.9% APR for 60 months. 4.9% for 60 months. Some restrictions apply. See Sloan Implement for details. Offer ends 5/2/22. How will you make the most of your mow? Find out at Sloan Implement today.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. The high school baseball season will have a beautiful day to open the 2022 spring campaign as dozens of area high school baseball teams get things going with opening day today. For the Monticello High School boys baseball team, it will be about gradually building things up throughout the early season. Coach Chris Jones says they've been fortunate to be outside for a few early season practices, but not many, so the transition to a full game outside today will be a bit different.
I know they're anxious to get outside. We've been able to get out one day to get in the grass and do some fly balls, but we've been in the gym like I venture to guess majority of the teams in the area have been, and been working hard and doing what we're asking them to do. A lot of fundamentals. We work on their swing to build up to Saturday. We'll do a little live hitting in the cage, best we can simulate it anyway with our pitchers and our hitters. A lot of drill work combined by the size of the gym, and we've got one cage, and we're lucky to have that cage in there. We get a lot of use out of it, and then ground balls off the gym floor. Start going through and implementing our bunt defense, and we do some first and third situations, and then just hope to get outside, and that's why we do a lot with fundamentals. If they're fundamentally sound, then we'll try to, any of the environmental effects or any of the environmental factors, hopefully we take out a little bit. But you're always going to have a little bit of that rust that needs to get knocked off. So it's always good to get the games in sooner than later to try to get that off and get into a good feel for when you're getting into the good weather. Happen at the same time. So
Coach Jones is very excited about the kids he returns from last year's squad. Monticello lost a trio of very good seniors, but he feels they fill those spots with some kids with a lot of potential.
We've got a good returning group coming back. I think we're returning 8, and I might miss one, but 8 to 10 guys that saw quite a bit of time last year. We have Vinium coming back. Vinium held down second base for us last year. Joey Sprinkle was our third baseman. He's back. He pitched for us a little bit. We got a Jacob Truster, who was pulled up last year as a sophomore and did a lot of DHing for us. He's going to hopefully anchor down that first base side. And then we've got several guys in the outfield anchored with Tristan Foran in center field. On the mound, Dalton Shupp, a returning starter for us. Jack Buckaloo is a returning starter for us. And Luke Test, he's a sophomore, but as a freshman, he started for us. I'm pretty excited about pitching that we've got returning. We've got Thomas Schwartz behind the plate to handle those guys, along with Logan Chubb. So we've got a lot of guys that had a lot of experience last year on a pretty good team.
Coach Jones will be transitioning several of his regulars from the basketball team that just wrapped up a state runner-up finish in the 2A high school postseason in Champaign this past weekend. He explains he'll give those athletes a few days to recharge before they transition into baseball.
For the most part, pretty much everything we do throughout the program, they've already seen as freshman, sophomore, junior. So, as their senior year, once they get back in, they'll say, okay, we're in the rundown portion of where we're at and implementing to get to our team defense, so forth, so on. So I think that they will move into it pretty quickly. I know the plan right now. I think that Monday and Tuesday, give them a chance to catch their breath. Let them decide if they want to come to practice or not. Let them decide if they want to come to the ball game. Obviously, I'm not gonna throw them right into a situation where they will get hurt. So we'll have some serious conversations about how much they were able to throw, if they've thrown on the weekends, if they've hit any, and so forth, so on. But right now, I just really, truly hope they're concentrating on winning the state championship for Monticello High School in basketball.
Coach Jones is being assisted this season by Ray Witchess, Daniel Peterson, and Matt Crook. Peterson and Crook were players for Jones, while Witchess has served on his staff in the past. The Sages open the season taking on Leroy at the Rantoul Family Sports Complex this afternoon, where they have artificial turf to play on. Game time is 4:30 and can be heard on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. The bracket is officially set for the 2022 NCAA men's basketball tournament. The Big Ten regular season champs, Illinois, are the number 4 seed in the South region and will open their NCAA tournament run against 13th seeded Chattanooga in the first round Friday in Pittsburgh. Game time is 5:50 Central Time. It'll be televised on TNT. Illinois makes its 32nd NCAA tournament appearance and is second in a row after earning a top seed last year. Illinois owns an all-time NCAA tournament record of 41-32. Coach Brad Underwood, meanwhile, will be making his 6th NCAA tournament appearance in 9 years as a head coach. The Big Ten had a conference record 9 teams, I should say, in the tournaments for a second straight year. The Illinois Fighting Illini baseball team won this weekend's 3-game set with Western Kentucky with a 9-4 victory Sunday in Game 1 of a doubleheader. Illinois and Western Kentucky split the second game. The Illini offense combined for 21 runs and 27 hits in the first 2 games of the series. Danny Dolegale set a new career high with 4 hits as Illinois racked up a season-best 14 while scoring 9 runs. Their five of their 14 hits were extra base hits, and all 9 Illini starters scored a run. Cam McDonald extended his hit streak to 10 games in the opener with a 2-run double, the second double of the inning for the Illini. Illinois scored 4 runs in the top of the first, the second time this weekend scoring 4 runs or more in the first. Riley Gowans earned his second win of the season in 2 starts, going 4 1/3 innings, giving up 4 runs and struck out 4. Joseph Glassy entered in relief of Gowans, throwing an impressive 2 1/3 innings without allowing a run and tallying 4 strikeouts to earn his first save of the season. Jacob Campbell put the Illini on the board with a solo homer to left in the 8th inning of Game 2 with a no-doubt shot for his second of the season. The Illini also added 1 more in the 9th and brought the tying run to the plate, but the comeback effort fell just short. Illinois will return to Illinois Field Tuesday when they host Butler at 4. Pierre-Luc Dubois scored in overtime. Connor Hellebuck had 28 saves, and the Winnipeg Jets beat the St. Louis Blues 4-3 Sunday night. The Jets have won 10 of their last 12 in St. Louis, and the Blues have lost 5 of 7 overall. Kyle Connor and Mark Sheffley scored 63 seconds apart in the third to give the Jets a 3-2 lead. Nikolaj Ehlers scored for Winnipeg. The Jets moved to 4-17-2 when trailing after 2 periods. David Perrin, Braden Shen, and Vladimir Tarasenko scored for St. Louis. The Jets won 2 of 3 games on the recently completed road trip. Tarasenko broke an 8-game scoreless skid by whipping his shot past Hellebuck with 27 seconds left in the second period and put the Blues up 2-1. Tarasenko also added an assist and reached the 20-goal mark for the 7th straight season. The Blues continue to struggle in overtime and have lost 6 of 7 in extra sessions this season. The Blues will host Pittsburgh on Thursday. Chase Briscoe raced to his first career Cup Series victory, executing 2 great restarts in the final 20 laps to pull away from Ross Chastain and Tyler Reddick Sunday at Phoenix Raceway. Briscoe's childhood idol was NASCAR great Tony Stewart, and the Indiana native now drives Stewart's number 14 car for Stewart Haas Racing. Briscoe channeled some of Stewart's late race moxie during an intense battle between 3 drivers who had never won in the Cup Series. It's more evidence of the parity across the series in the new next-gen cars, with 4 drivers winning the first 4 races this season. Briscoe was one of the top drivers in the Cup Series, one of the top drivers in the Xfinity Series, rather, in 2019 and 2020, before getting the invite from Stewart Haas Racing to take over the number 14. He had just 3 top 10s as a rookie and finished 23rd in the season standings, but got off to a good start with this season with a third-place finish at Daytona in February, and now a victory. Reddick's has been one of the fastest drivers in the Cup Series all season, but fell just short of his first win. He battled leg numbness in the next-gen car over the first few weeks, but did not appear to have any problems Sunday. He has 2 straight top 10 finishes after finishing 7th in Vegas last week. Ryan Blaney started on the pole and dominated the first half of the race, winning the second stage after leading 138 of the first 185 laps. He settled for 4th, while Kurt Busch was 5th. Kyle Larson won the series championship last year after a fall victory at Phoenix, but engine trouble ended his day early, and he finished 34th. It was the end of a frustrating day for Larson, who qualified 7th, but had to move to the rear of the starting grid because of unapproved steering wheel changes. Now that the annual 3-week West Coast swing is over, the series moves back across the country to Atlanta Motor Speedway next weekend.
Life is uncertain. Stop in and see me, State Farm Agent Jason France, on the west side of the Clinton Square, or click our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com and see how our full lineup of State Farm insurance and financial services can help protect your family.
Local farm broadcaster Jared White covers the local agriculture news you need to know. Hear his reports by downloading the free WHOW mobile app.
Introducing Kyber soybean herbicide from Corteva Agriscience, the newest premium Group 15 pre-emergent solution. Kyber delivers 3 effective modes of action for long-lasting residual activity, meaning your fields won't just be clean, they'll be Kyber clean. And what is Kyber clean? Well, it's a little like
nice fields.
See the difference at kyberherbicide.com/soy. That's KYBER herbicide.com/soy.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Ukraine says Russian forces have abducted at least 2 mayors. The Kremlin moving to install local puppet governments in regions it has taken over. Meanwhile, Russian airstrikes continue across Ukraine, including in suburban Kiev. An apartment building among the targets hit, sparking a raging fire. At least 1 civilian was killed. Ukrainian forces have been busy as well, with a Russian military convoy among the targets hit by the Ukrainians. And a